Good morning. I have a friend, and every time something comes up, a situation that's a challenge or something she wished she handled differently, she says with a shake of her head, "Yeah, I've got to work on that." Maybe you are like that too. I know I am. A lot of times I think, oh man, I could have done that better. And what happens is we tend to look at the situation that we're in, know that maybe we didn't meet the situation well, that we fell short, and now we have to fix something in ourselves in order to handle it better next time. It's really hard to be motivated about something like that. It's really hard to say, yes, I'm going to get at that, because we often feel like we're operating from a place of failure. I have another friend who shared 3 points with me about 6 months ago that actually make so much sense I want to share them with you. One, she said that, as we know, God has created us. We have been created by a God who loves us, who is deeply compassionate and empathetic, a God who knows what we need and has made us from nothing but love. Second point, we are made with intensely unique gifts. You have gifts that you possess that God has placed within you to meet all of the circumstances and needs in your life. They're already there. So working on it may just mean being more intentional, paying attention, not necessarily doing your homework. These gifts are made specifically for the circumstances that you face in your life. And you have everything you need, all right? We just said that. Then the third point, that God continues to create us. Now, that's a no-brainer on some level because we age, so we know we get older, so we're still changing, right? But the point here is that many of us live as though we are complete, that we've reached the apex, that we've done all the growing that we could possibly do. We live in that fashion in our minds. And so we're not always thinking when we think, hey, I should work on that. We're not always aware of the fact that perhaps there are gifts and talents and skills that I haven't employed yet, I haven't tapped into, that I haven't paid attention to yet. I think this is super important. It is for me, because I want to make sure that when I live this life, I'm living it the way that God wants me to live it, that there is great happiness in the way I live. But there's also the situation where, how do I learn those lessons? If those gifts are there within me, how do I know how to access them? And when I feel like, yeah, I better work on that, how do I do that in a way that isn't homework, that isn't hard and a drudge and a grind? I think the first thing is we take the situations of our life and we pay attention to what stirs within us when we're in them. Is it a joyful situation? Is it a situation that nags at us? Do we feel tension, pressure? Do we feel a hardness in ourselves? Or is there a flare of anger or righteousness? Identifying the emotion connected to the circumstance is a key to opening the door to knowing what's next. How do I find out what the answer is? How do I know where I should go from here? Identifying the emotion and then taking it to the divine who put you together in the first place. God, here's the circumstance. Here's what I'm feeling. Speak to me about what I can do, about what treasures lie within me that can be the tools to adapt to this situation, to make it easier for me as I experience it now. And together, now this isn't just a panacea, right? It's not just a big Band-Aid. You explore that with Christ and you listen in prayer with the divine. It's not just about you talking. You're listening because you've asked for insight. And together, you find that insight to know how best to deal with the circumstances with the tools already existing within you.